Burned victim finally home, ex-boyfriend in police custody. Alisa King returned to Jamaica on Tuesday after surviving severe burns when her teenage boyfriend dosed her with a flammable substance and set her on fire while she was at her St. Catherine home on August 24, 2023. Her ex-boyfriend Antoine Gray, who has been on the run since, was allegedly being hidden by relatives and close associates, was held by police on Wednesday and taken into custody. Reporters understand that the police had a challenge finding him but gained access on Wednesday. King, who was in a coma after being severely burnt in the incident, was flown to the United States Children's Hospital in Florida, where she received life-saving treatment and underwent numerous surgeries. She was flown out of the island with the assistance of the San Marino Foundation in Jamaica, which collaborated with its various stakeholders to make the mission a success. Final evaluation of Public Sector Transformation Implementation Project. The final audit and evaluation of the Public Sector Transformation Implementation Project is to be conducted in the upcoming fiscal year. Details of the undertaking are outlined in the 2024-2025 Estimates of Expenditure tabled in the House of Representatives by Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark, on February 15. The Ministry of Finance and the Public Service is the implementing agency for the project, which has the objective to improve the delivery of public services in Jamaica by enhancing the quality of transactional services and efficiency in public spending. Up to December 2023, the new Government of Jamaica compensation structure, including the rationalization of allowances, was implemented, and a job evaluation factor plan to evaluate jobs across the public sector was developed. Government launched a new customer relationship management system at the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency (PICO), and the My HR Plus system was rolled out to 70 ministries, departments, and agencies. Additionally, the renovation of the GOG data center physical plant was completed. Government Net NDE connections listed as subscribers across the Kingston metropolitan area increased, and the KMA fiber expansion was near 50% completion. The government completed network, telephone updates, and other information and communications technology enhancement at the Child Protection and Family Services Agency and established a new sense of place for the Mer Boys home, while 5 other homes were similarly equipped. Also, a fisheries license and registration system was implemented at the National Fisheries Authority and a new work permit system at the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. 46 public officers were trained in employment engagement to build capacity for effective management of human capital, among other things. The Public Sector Transformation Implementation Project is being funded by the Government of Jamaica and the Inter-American Development Bank. The project, which initially ran from January 2018 to January 2024, has been extended to June 2024. Hike in taxi fares and public sector wage increases among factors contributing to high inflation. The hike in taxi fares and public sector increases are being cited among factors impacting inflation. The Bank of Jamaica BOG has noted that inflation will remain higher than targeted until next year. BOG Governor Richard Blight gave the update during a press conference on Wednesday. Blight added that deterioration in supply chain conditions could further impact inflation. He noted that the bank has opted to maintain its policy interest rate.
The bank's Monetary Policy Committee met on the 16th and the 19th of February and was advised that inflation is projected to remain above the bank's target range until June 2025, largely because of the impact of the temporary price shocks, including the projected impact of the second phase of the PPV fare increase, which is scheduled to take effect in April 2024. Without the impact of this second increase in PPV fares, inflation at December 2024 would fall within the target range. While some key drivers of headline inflation, such as inflation expectations and the exchange rate, have remained generally stable, and grains prices have declined and are projected to continue to fall, the risks to inflation and its outlook remain elevated. On the upside, higher than projected second round effects from the PPV fare increase, higher wage adjustments in the context of a tight labor market, and a further deterioration in supply chain conditions could influence higher inflation. In particular, while shipping prices and oil prices have remained below their peak, they have recently risen amid ongoing geopolitical tensions and supply chain disruptions. Lower than projected inflation could be caused by weaker than projected global growth, which could reduce domestic demand and imported inflation, resulting in lower rates of price change in Jamaica. In the context of the inflation outturn and outlook, the MPC decided to maintain the policy interest rate, which is a rate offered to deposit-taking institutions on overnight placements with Bank of Jamaica, at 7%, and to maintain relative stability in the foreign exchange market. The MPC, however, decided to tighten Jamaican dollar liquidity conditions more aggressively. The committee also decided to maintain heightened surveillance of these risks to the inflation outlook and will base its future monetary policy decisions on the incoming data related to the strength of the potential risk.
Attorneys discredit phone evidence. Attorney at law Christopher Towson on Wednesday implored members of a 7-member jury in the Everton Beaches Stout McDonald murder trial to disregard audio recordings which were allegedly taped by Denvelin Boblaminto, the star witness in the case, insisting that the audio files which implicated his client were fabricated. Towson said it is hard for the jury to accept that Minto was the maker of the recordings, which prosecutors are relying on heavily to secure a conviction. McDonald is on trial in the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston for the murder of his second wife, Tony McDonald. Towson, in court on Wednesday, further pointed out that it is difficult to trust Minto's evidence about the recordings, given that he told the court that one day he was going through his phone and came upon a mysterious audio file which allegedly turned out to be a recording of a call he made earlier with McDonald. He told the jury and presiding judge Jesse Stamp that he then continued to record more than just 120 calls between himself and the Portland businessman. Towson said that Minto and other witnesses, including a former employee of McDonald, had a lot to gain by telling lies during their testimonies in the case. The man who they said did the recording can't read and can't spell. He was just lying, still so. All witnesses have something to gain by coming here and lying. The count's case has fallen. You know that we're seeing mere bones. You are now seeing it that what it is said I have taken off the makeup, Towson told the jury. A very potent piece of evidence of the Crown is that when you hear the recordings, Mr. McDonald categorically stated that he did not have any conversation with Boblo. You must be satisfied with yourselves that it is authentic before you can't believe it to be true. It must be proven beyond reasonable doubt that this is so. The Crown has failed miserably. They were in a hurry to get up and listen to the recordings, but the authenticity of the questionable in the high orders. No other witness has come therefore and told me lies about Boblo, Towson continued. At the same time, Courtney Rowe, another one of McDonald's 5 lawyers, said that during Minto's evidence in court, he told the jury that McDonald took away his personal phone leading up to the murder and began supplying him with different devices and SIM cards. These phones and SIM cards, according to Minto, were taken away by McDonald and replaced with different ones on numerous occasions. But the data presented in court by the police, who claim he obtained it from the telecommunications provider, had Minto named as the owner and user of the particular phone, Rowe told the court on Wednesday. Rowe insisted that it was impossible for that to happen as Minto gave evidence that he was always provided with phones, that he purchased none of them of himself. Therefore, there would have been no recording of his name being listed as the user of those particular numbers. He also pointed out that Minto cannot be trusted because he claimed he was supplied with different phones by McDonald. However, the recordings presented in court show that there was only one international mobile equivalent identity number associated with all the calls he claimed he placed to and received from McDonald. Rowe said Minto was outright lying because every phone carries a unique IMEI number. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.